Hello and welcome to the channel where in this video we'll talk about why Google, which is in the business of monetizing omniscience, is selling phones. Google Pixel is a favorite phone of many of us, and a new one is launching just around the corner. There is a lot of news about a new chip developed by Google themselves, and it is supposed to be known as Tensor. So let's talk about it. I remember back in the day, when Google launched a brand new device called Pixel with their fancy Google Assistant. There was a lot of talk that it will change the world, with all its AI and ML capabilities. It will save humanity, and it will order food for us from the restaurants while doing that. I mean, what more could you ask for? Today this Google Assistant is everywhere and it seems to be quite popular. Back when Google launched the Pixel along with the Google Assistant, it was a big deal. Google did not give the Assistant to any other phone for the next 10 to 12 months. Google Assistant lived only on the Pixel devices. And anyone who owned a Pixel phone could show off to their friends how cool they were because their phone can order food from that takeout place. Anyway, that changed very soon when Google decided to spread the love around, and the Assistant became available on other phones as well. Today the Google Assistant is one of the most popular and probably the most capable voice assistants out there. It is definitely better than what other big tech companies have to offer. It is available in many languages, and it is very good at answering many questions. It might even be making our lives easier. In Google's world, launching an entirely new line of phones, to encourage people to use an automated voice assistant makes perfect sense. It leverages Google's existing capabilities, which is knowing a lot about the world, and organizing that information to make it useful. And it builds that capability further, which is, the more people use Google Assistant, the more Google becomes familiar with habits and behaviors of its users. The greater the degree of this familiarity, the better the ad suggestions that Google can make. The more relevant the ad suggestion, the greater is the likelihood of the user clicking the ad. And so on and so forth. You know how it goes. Coming back to the Pixel phones, lest I forget about them. The first Pixel launched back on October 4, 2016, in a Made by Google event. In that, Google talked a big game about the cameras on the phone. Which, as it turns out, was quite accurate. When launched, the camera on the Pixel phone was rated as the best smartphone camera out there, getting 90 points on DxOMark Mobile. Not sure why we don't hear about them much, but anyway. Today Google's phones continue to offer one of the best cameras that we consumers can get. The other cool thing that Google offered during the launch of the first Pixel phones, was the unlimited cloud storage for pictures on Google Photos. This feature was extended to other phones soon. However, it has sadly been discontinued recently. Apart from that, the first Pixel phones had very good specs, with top-of-the-line Qualcomm 821 processor, up to 128GB storage, and 4GB RAM. They had AMOLED screens, a metal unibody design, fast charging with a decent battery, and most critically, the stock Android experience which we have come to love and appreciate so much. It was a pretty well-appointed phone. Over time, Google launched new Pixel phones every year come October. However, 2018 marked a change in strategy, with the launch of 3 series Pixel phones. They wanted to reach more people, and their mostly premium phones were not doing that very well. So Google launched Pixel 3a and Pixel 3a XL in May 2019, a few months after the launch of Pixel 3 and 3 XL. The A series devices housed the Snapdragon 670 chipset. Their body was made of polycarbonate, which is a fancy name for plastic, instead of aluminium and glass. They did not have certified water resistance, they did not have wireless charging. However, they were still very well made, still had a fantastic camera system, still had the pure Android experience, and all these changes made the phone much more affordable. It put the phone in the hands of many more people. Google kept with this strategy, and offered Pixel 4 and 4 XL in October 2019, followed by Pixel 4a and Pixel 4a XL, down the road in August-September 2020. Interestingly, all the Pixel devices got Snapdragon 7 series chipsets. However, the cameras continued to be a banger. This experiment with A-series phones seemed to have worked really well, because recently, Google announced the launch of Pixel 5a on August 17, 2021. It was not a big splashy launch. Google just put out a press release, and that was that. The Pixel 5a has a 6.34-inch OLED display, with Snapdragon 650 processor, 6GB RAM and 128GB storage. It comes with a 12.2-megapixel main camera, a 16-megapixel ultra-wide camera, and an 8-megapixel front shooter. However, the big excitement is with the expected launch of the Pixel 6 devices, and the two main reasons are the new Tensor chip and Android 12. This phone is expected to come with the newest hardware and software that Google has to offer. Android 12 has been extensively previewed, but the Tensor chip is brand new. Google has talked about Tensor in bits and pieces over the years, and now that it is here, we can't wait to get our hands on the phone. With the new chip, there is a lot of curiosity and a lot of expectations. People have experienced what big tech companies can do with their customized silicon. Apple is a good example, obviously. Apart from that, there are new cameras on the phone, which are always a point of significant interest. The design looks very interesting and something quite new from Google, with its big camera bump. We are all looking forward to a very interesting phone from Google in the coming few days. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, a like would be much appreciated, and I'll see you in the next one.